Dear colleagues, dear friends, my name is Nicolay Makarov from the EO Junior Committee, and I'm happy to be part of the initiative Bring the Journal to Life of the International Journal of Prosthodontics. So today I'd like to share with you this very interesting article by Andrea Paratelli from Complutense University of Madrid, which is Polyetheretherketone in Implant Prosthodontics, a scoping review. PIC was first introduced to the implant prosthodontics as a material for temporary abutments. It has better mechanical performance compared to common resin materials. But as for today, no review articles focusing exclusively on PIC's role in implant prosthodontics have been identified. Evidence regarding PIC in dentistry is still limited in quantity. So at this point, a scoping review seems to be the most appropriate to assess whether conducting a further systematic review on the application of PIC in implant prosthodontics would be indicated. So the purpose of the study was to answer the question what is known from the literature about the application of PIC in implant prosthodontics. The search of literature was performed by the authors, and they've included the articles on PIC related to dentistry. Survival was considered as the presence of the prosthetic component inside the mouth at the time of observation. Success was considered as absence of complications at the time of observation. The initial search resulted in more than 1,900 articles, from which 13 were included in final analysis. From them, 47% of the articles were in vitro, 38 clinical, and 15 observational. PIC applied in the fabrication of implant-supported fixed dental prosthesis frameworks in 43% of the articles. The resistance to fracture appeared to be inferior to nickel chromium and zirconia, but still clinically acceptable. It was also used in fabrication of abutments in 35% of the articles, screws in 15%, and also in implant-borne overdentures. Studies on PIC as a material for healing abutments were not included, since they were considered more closely related to the surgical than the prosthetic aspect of the treatment. So the authors conclude that scientific evidence available is limited in quantity and quality. Undertaking a systematic review is not appropriate or necessary, and we are in need of further, better designed clinical research. The clinician should also bear in mind that long-term outcomes are still uncertain. And as a take-home message, PIC fixed prosthodontics seemed to have satisfactory survival rates. Success rates showed more alarming data than PMMA and ceramic veneered zirconia. But mechanical failures were considered of adhesive fracture, thus indicating satisfactory resistance for the framework. Abutments, if comparing entirely or partially of PIC, the use of titanium core was preferred. The screws had 5 times less resistance compared to titanium, so as a solution, finding the right balance in the filler composition was recommended. And the clips for implant overdentures were less retentive than cobalt chromium, but still retentive enough to serve their clinical purpose. So follow the initiatives of the International Journal of Prosthodontics and the EO. Thank you and stay safe.